that difference between the club scene or the dance scene where you're in and the scene of the pop music, the rock music.
Yeah.
How big is that in your mind, the difference between those two worlds?
They're not no different in my mind, but they are different, I suppose, in reality. I mean, first of all, house music is pop music. I mean, you look at Lady Gaga, Black Eyed Peas, their sound of now is house music. It's a commercial side of house. I've always, listening and growing up in London and listening to Radio 1, and why I say Radio 1 for people who are watching this and don't know what Radio 1 is, it's the flagship station of the United Kingdom, and it's an incredible radio station because they play all kinds of music, all kinds of genres together. Fundamentally, in a lot of other countries, you'll have a rock station, a hip-hop station, an electronic station that play certain kinds of music. So I grew up listening to all kinds of music, and my sound is very melodic, and I look at great singers and great songs, and that's what I'm all about. So for me, the music that I do is very melodic, it's very emotional. I've worked with urban singers, I've worked with rap singers, I've worked with rock singers, I've even worked with Hunter S. Thompson as a writer. So I approach it in my own way, which is I take the genres down, and if it works and the collaboration is creative, then it's music at the end of the day.
Is it for those pop singers or rock singers you've worked with, is it just as easy for them to let go the
No, but that's the whole idea of what my job is as the producer, is to take Pharrell Williams or Nelly Furtado that sit in these two areas, one pop, one urban, and bring them into my world in a creative, edgier way that one, respecting those two worlds and coming up with a fresh sound that will help not only myself and my record, but will help their careers and broaden their fan base. I think that's why I kind of work with a lot of different people, because it's an interesting approach rather than, there's no point me going and making a record that's an urban record, that's not what I do, or going to make a pop record. Those guys do that in their own rights. My lane is electronic music and quite focused in respect of the direction I'm going, and I explain that to them, and it's something that they usually want to do.
I assume that some of those collaborations are going to be on the studio album Popular.
Both the collaborations that we spoke about were on my first album and my last album. This would be my third album, Pop Killer. And Pop Killer is, it really is very much focused and in a lane that sits there. It's cutting edge beats, great songs and great singers. Some you know, some you won't. It's all up tempo. It's exactly what it is when you hear it. I've worked really, really hard on it, and I hope people like it, but see it for what it is. It's a modern pop record. It's not beating around the bush. I'm not trying to do something, break back doors down here. It's great singers, great songs and cutting edge beats, and that's where I am at the moment with my artist record. I mean, with the compilation that I just released as a DJ, which is completely different to the artist record, is all about me playing new, exciting music that I found as a DJ, and is pure underground, you know, which is a challenge in its own right. But Pop Killer was a huge challenge for me to go and find great songs and work with great songwriters, and to be lucky enough to have an opportunity to find new great singers and some established singers is really hard thing. I find it really hard to do, and to come up with these new sounds in terms of beats, and that's why it takes forever to do these records, because so much goes into them. whether it's a compilation. On the compilation that's just come out, I went through over 1,000 tracks to find 40. So you can imagine every day you're listening and listening, and then you have to step away, and because it's, you know, so much honestly crap out there, and then you get to a point and you're like, okay, I've found the 40. Now I've got to set an arrangement, a structure, tell a story that comes from my heart, that's a musical story, and then start to edit the tracks and put them together in a way that keeps the energy level and drops and peaks, and which is again my style, because it's not in a club. It's people are going to be hopefully revisiting this and listening, and that's why it took some time.